Okay, hello there everyone. Welcome VV Nation. Welcome to this very special presentation. We're calling it a Backstage Pass, a first look at our upcoming Las Vegas investment seminar. And I'll let a little cat out of the bag early, and live stream. So we're taking our flagship event to the beautiful Venetian Resort and Casino right there on the Las Vegas Strip in Las Vegas, Nevada on September 20th through the 21st. This is an event that you simply do not want to miss. Heck, bring a friend. Oops, sorry, we're going to have to restart here, guys. Give me just 1 second. All right. Welcome to this very special presentation. Hey guys, hey VV Nation out there, welcome. We've got a great presentation in store for you today. We're calling it a Backstage Pass, a first look at the upcoming Las Vegas investment seminar and live stream. Let a little cat out of the bag early. It will be live streamed as well, which is terrific. Means everybody here can attend and there are no excuses. So we're taking our flagship event to the beautiful Venetian Resort and Casino right there on the main strip. One of my favorites. I've been to Vegas many times, over 50 times now in my life. And this is one of my favorite places to go. So hopefully it'll be a popular spot for all of you folks as well. But more importantly, this is an event you don't want to miss. And if you can, bring a friend, bring a family member, have them watch it with you on the live stream, whatever the case may be, because listen, it'll help change their lives for the better. Because make no mistake, here at VectorVest's, that's what we're in the business of doing. We're in the business of changing people's lives and making them for the better. Okay, so the question naturally becomes, why go? Don't just take the word for it, right? Why should you or any of your friends, any family members, whatever the case may be, attend this event? Quite simply, if I had to say so myself, it's to better secure your or even their financial future, whether that be help put the kids through school, retire more comfortably, or whatever the case might be for that particular individual. And for many of us, who went before you, we wanted to learn how to do better than just marginal gains and just barely keeping pace with the S&P 500, that kind of thing. And really wanted to learn how to thrive and become independent and live life on our own terms and do that via investing in the stock market. We wanted to seek out performance like this here, which is jaw-dropping, right? We want to learn how to beat the pants off the market, beat those average returns, and do so consistently so we can sleep better at night, knowing that we're following a proven system, one that works, one that's worked year after year after year after year. And so this technique and many others, as you'll see here in a bit, will be on full display. And we've actually seen this performance, some of it, in real time. And so, what we hope that you do is discover this system for yourself and the others we're going to talk about and make it happen for you, of course, going forward in real time, okay? But there's a problem, unfortunately, we've got to talk about. There's a core problem that stands in a lot of people's way of getting the superior performance that you're really trying to shoot for. What it is you just get buried. And it's really not your fault these days. With all of the newsletter, I know my inbox gets absolutely inundated with those things. With all of those and the streaming data and the social media and the TV personalities and the financial websites and so much more, right? You just get information overload. Am I right? I know I feel that way when I'm sifting through all my stuff. So let's talk about the big mistake then. The big mistake is that we're trying to absorb all that information, and maybe even worse yet, the really big thing that keeps a lot of folks from success, we find value in complication. It looks exotic, so it must be good, kind of syndrome. Listen, making money in the stock market, what I've found over my 24 years investing in the stock market is it's really the simple things that make the money. I've seen people come up to me at seminars and events with these elaborate trading plans, single space, 24 pages long with all these rules and everything on how they're going to do something, when really you can boil it down to about 3 key essential things in reality. Maybe a baker's dozen at most. but it's three things that really drive your performance. And we really key in on that at this event. So it can, and in fact, it should be easy. We don't need to complicate things. And so what we're going to do now, we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it for good. We're going to talk about how you can get yourself in a position to fix it once and for all. And that, my friends, is no more difficult than what you see right here on the screen. And that is to follow a simple, proven system and stick to it. You may even decide when you take in this event that you'd like to try a few of the systems. For some of us, I know for myself, I'm in a situation now where I've really got 3 different kinds of portfolios going at any given time, potentially. I've got a self-directed 401k that I treat one way. I've got a retirement account, very high relative safety driven portfolio. And then I've got a trading account. I love to trade. It's just in my heart. It's in my soul. And, it's really the byproduct of all 3 of those things that have really made me far better off. I'm so thankful, that I ran across VectorVest. Really and truly am, guys. I hope you feel the same way. And so it's going to be picking out the system that's going to work best for you. That's going to be the real key. And so there's really no better way to do that than to learn from the people who have already done it before you for themselves, right? And that's going to be the coaches and instructors that are going to be teaching this event. We've all been able to do it for ourselves. And now what we want to do is share that with you so that you can do it for yourself, right? So I can't show you the actual techniques here. I can't show the actual systems because, quite honestly, we don't have time for that. That's what the event is going to be all about, right? But what I can do is at least get you thinking about the real-time performance that you're going to be looking at. And this is real trading account performance. This is not some theoretical back test or anything like that. This is going to be real dollars through real APIs linked to real brokerages with real executions in real time, on a current basis. So we have an approach we call successful investor. This is for prudent folks. It's really, honestly, for just about everyone, particularly if you're just starting with VectorVest. Listen, if you want to have the best of all worlds, if you want to find stocks that have really good safety, the sleep well at night types of stocks, but also have tremendous upside potential, then this is the kind of system that you want to put yourself into right away. Like, this is square one, okay? And as you can see, it's pretty steady. I mean, like any market situation, there's going to be some ups and downs, but it's very, very safe, very, very steady, very secure, right? And it adds up. I mean, it just adds up over. I don't know if you guys know the rule of 72, but you can take your annualized performance, divide it into 72, and that'll tell you how long it takes to double your money, right? So let's suppose your returns are averaging about 24% a year. It's only going to take about a little less than 3 years to double your money, right? And so that's the compounding effect that eventually takes hold. But let's get started first. We'll worry about that kind of stuff later. Let's get that first 24%. Forget about getting all the way to 72 for now, right? We also have a retirement services division here at VectorVest. Now, we've had some incidents occur here lately, and of course, that means we've had to reconfigure some things, and we're working through that whole process. So I've only got a snippet here. I wish I had more data that I could actually provide, because the data is much, much better than what this slide implies. Although 8% in just a couple of months in high relative safety stocks should give you some indication, okay? This is superior performance with the quality of stocks that we're talking about. Now, the beautiful thing about the VectorVest approach to retirement services, so if you're somebody that's in the retirement stage, I think, honestly, and Jim used to say this a lot, really everybody should be worried about retirement services. There's no such thing as starting too young or anything like that. I mean, honestly, the earlier you start, the better. And there's no such thing as too late either. You'd be surprised the kinds of returns that you can get here, because this only looks at stock performance. But what we do is we take a 3-pronged approach in retirement services. We like to get some capital appreciation, and that's one of the 3 focal points. So on top of that, we look for good dividend-paying stocks that produce some of the income. Now, the days of the yield premium have come and gone. There's not 12% dividend yields out. Well, at least any good ones, out there in the stock market these days. They're certainly not safe if they're there, so that's not going to get you all the way home either. So what we do is we generate even more money. We show you how to do it very simply with options. And it doesn't take, a brain scientist to figure this stuff out. I mean, we can get you up to speed pretty quick. I would say many of you will be pretty up to speed right at the event itself. And of course, there's some ongoing coaching that we can provide around that as well. But even just the base, just getting the core high relative safety stocks on a good chunk of your investment capital is a great idea. I mean, it's by far the most safest, surest, consistent way that I've ever experienced here at VectorVest to make money, and lots of it over time. And the longer you can be in these stocks, the better. I mean, that's the truth. That's the reality. Okay. So if that's not enough, for those of you that want to kick things up another notch, or I would say 2, maybe 3, this is really elevating it quite a bit. Your trading frequency is going to go up quite a bit as well to get these kinds of returns. Something to think about. You have to be a lot more active. But for those of you that are in the business of swing trading, and I want to make it seem super active. This isn't day trading or anything like that. You're dealing with days to weeks in terms of trade length. So it's faster, but it's not crazy fast, right? But for that expense of time, you can see the gains. This is just this year. Real account through RoboTrader, live execution, straight to the broker, 28% this year. And where's the March, April swoon? I don't even see one. So that's what risk management does for you when you're in the trading as well. So Jerry's done a really bang up job, and he's going to be detailing some of the techniques that he uses to get these returns at this seminar. So you're going to learn about not only the bedrock of VectorVest, the core basics with successful investor and how to get the ball rolling. You're also going to learn how to kick it up a notch with retirement services, or maybe you just want to start right in retirement services. That way you get the dividend income and the option income to boot. Or for some of you, this could be all that you do. It could be a part of it. What I like to do is break off a smaller amount of capital and go this way. But for some people, this could literally be all that you do if you wanted it to be. And so we're going to help you make these kinds of decisions when you're there. You're going to get to see things full blown. We're going to dive into the depths of it, and you're going to see what it really looks like. And we'll help you make these decisions as we go along. Okay. And you can obviously talk to us and get insights that way. And that's really the benefit of going live. One of the benefits. We'll talk about more of them at the end. All right. So let's get to that. This is going to be a pretty quick presentation this time around because there's no technique to show. Okay. All I can do is just kind of whet your appetite a little bit. I don't like that, believe me. If anybody knows me, I like to teach. Boy, that's my passion. Okay. But what I can do is try to get you into the position for that teaching, whether it's through Jerry or myself or Ray's going to be there with us, and also Ron Wheeler. Whoever will all be willing to take you by the hand and show you what you need to know. But my job right now is to get you there so we can do that. So VectorVest 2-day investment seminar, Venetian Resort, September 2021. That'll be here before you know it. So if you're going to go or want to go, or if you're going to do the live stream even, do not delay. Don't put this away and forget it. Get to the websites we're going to have at the end and make sure you get started today. Go ahead and sign up today, okay? So morning day 1. I'm not going to go through every presentation and tell you all the nuts and bolts of everything that's in each and every one of these, or we'll be here for a couple hours. So what I'm going to do is say morning day 1. This is all about building a solid foundation. This is all about understanding grassroots VectorVest. This is all about getting the ball rolling. And it really builds up to successful investor as the climax, of that morning session. So this is a great way to kick things off. I really love the way that we've got this 2-day event, organized at this point. It's really the best it's ever been. It truly is. We hear that every year, but I feel the same way at this point. It really is laid out well. Okay. Afternoon of day 1, we get a little bit more exotic. Now, I don't want the term exotic can be a turnoff. We get a little bit more specialized. Okay. And so we're going to be focused more heavily on, in the afternoon on ETFs, and even get into the levered ETF and the systems that we have that you can deploy for those. And there are some mouth-watering returns out there for those of you that haven't stumbled across that yet, or who just need to learn a little bit more about that. You know, our levered ETF system, for example, is up 33% this year alone. You know, it's up an ungodly 7,000% over the last 5 or 6 years, whatever it's been. Okay. But 33% this year alone. And of course, there's some compounding effect there as well. I mean, but the returns have been spectacular because it manages triple leveraged funds. Now, we're also going to be giving you exposure to singles and even doubles as part of the education. And often it's a good thing just to get your feet wet with the singles before you start moving into the leverage and don't understand that stuff yet. We go through all of that at the show, okay? But really it's about ETFs, and then we get into situational investing, which is truly a highlight of this today, where that's all about recognizing what the market is doing and implementing strategies and searches that are consistent with that market behavior. So we title that investing with precision these days, tailoring your strategies to the market. But that's what we mean. We mean realizing what situation you're at. Are you at a market bottom? And how do you know? Are you in a toppy situation? How do you know? What do you trade at the bottoms? What do you trade at the tops? And what do you trade in between? And which direction, right? If you want to do that. So that's really how we round out the afternoon of day one, is getting you acclimated to VectorVest is a very versatile tool. And you're far better off doing some things at market lows than you are at market tops, and vice versa, or along the way, okay? Morning of day two is all about retirement services and cash generation. You know, it really was great. Do you guys remember when you used to have to go down to your mailbox, open it up, and see if your paycheck was actually in the mailbox? But it was great when it was, right? Payday. So it's all about creating those paydays, and as often as you can, you know, to generate even more income and use those really high relative safety stocks, you know, as a cash generation machine. And so that's what we do, is we spend a lot of time showing you how to do that, okay? And also how to protect that portfolio when you need to do it. We like to say that we create a worry-free environment with our retirement portfolios. Truly worry-free, because once you know how to use options defensively, you know, your portfolio should never ever unravel again. All right. On top of that, we round this morning off with the most dynamic cherry picking, although it's chart driven, you know, it's mechanically driven, cherry picking technique ever developed at VectorVest, thanks to Stan Heller up there in Canada, called the near perfect indicator. And so that is always a highlight of the show for a lot of folks. And boy, there's a lot of great insights that those charts provide, and there's even different approaches to how you trade it, and we go through all of that at the show. It's fantastic. Afternoon of day two is really about Jerry taking the reins more heavily and showing you how he got to the 28% this year with very little volatility. So he's going to run through all the nuts and bolts of that, which is terrific. Okay, and then now that I've learned all this stuff, you know, what do I do Monday? What do I do the first day the market opens up after I leave this event? We try to keep you from information overload, re-simplify things, remind you who you are, thereby what you should follow, what you should start with, right? And then how to start, you know, how to start next trading day after this 2 days is over. Doesn't take any longer than that. You know, there's no further training that's required, any of that stuff. Now, there's going to be coaching. We'll talk about, you know, how you can get further coaching and all that kind of stuff. But you can take and run with what you learned at this show. 100% sure, 100% true, 100% sure on that, okay? And we're going to show you how to do it. You know, so that brings us to the decision point. And so I share with you a quote that I've used throughout my life in a lot of different decision times as a nice reminder to myself. Old Abe Lincoln once said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'll spend the first 4 hours sharpening my axe." What does that mean in relation to what we've talked about today? What that means, friends, is if you want to make the most out of the rest of this year, if you want to make the most out of the rest of your life in the stock market, I would spend 2 days in Las Vegas, or at least live streamed, even from your yacht sailing around the Caribbean, whatever the case is. Maybe it's the Maldives. Let's do something a little better. Whatever the case may be, we can always show you how to do better, right? But what you got to get is the training. You got to sharpen the axe. Okay, that way we can make sure that we make that a reality for you. So, I suggest going live. I've got a myriad of reasons as to why. One of the big benefits, we're going to be able to spend a lot of time with you, even on an individual basis. We are going to also try to organize kind of a gathering or a get-together of people that are with us in Vegas outside of the event even. More details on that later. Just this is your opportunity to rub elbows not only with us. I'll say this. A lot of times people are like, all right, these guys, it's some kind of racket or something. Listen, there's going to be subscribers here that have been with VectorVest. If I had to guess, I'm going to guess on a few people I think might be there. Heck, one of the people that might be there has been since I started with VectorVest. Keeps coming. You want to know why? Because there's always something that you pick up. No matter how long you've been with VectorVest, no matter what your experience level is, no matter how good you think you are, okay? There's always a way to get better. And the best investors, the best traders, the best VectorVest subscribers, the best of the best are always learning, right? So this is your opportunity to get to Vegas. Go to our 2-day investment seminar, September 20th, 21st, 2025. All you got to do is go to VectorVest.com/Vegas. I'm going to put that out in the chat for GoToWebinar. And you guys on YouTube, you know what you're doing. You know how to get around all this stuff. Just go to VectorVest.com/Vegas, okay? VectorVest.com/Vegas. That's for live and in person and all the personal touches, ability to rub elbows with some power users, some of the VectorVest coaches, whatever you see fit. It's also a great opportunity to go to a fantastic hotel. I don't want to make too big a deal about this, but this one is truly, I think, one of my favorites. It's hard to say favorite ever, right? But it's a good one. You'll have a good experience there. They've got these awesome gondola rides, so if you're bringing a significant other or something like that, it's not something that a group of guys necessarily wants to do, right? But if you're bringing a significant other of obviously for yourself, and you want a great experience, I mean, just awesome. These gondola rides are terrific. And I even prefer it to Venice itself, honestly. It's spectacular, okay? On top of that, forget about all that stuff because really, I want to get back to the life-changing material. That's what it's all about. So don't delay. Do it now. Go to VectorVest.com/Vegas. You can also do the live stream. So you go to VectorVest.com/stream. I think I passed that somewhere. There it is. VectorVest.com/stream, okay? VectorVest.com/stream. That's free. Free. I mean, if $95 somehow is too much, that one's free. $95 is absolutely, I get the easiest webcast here at VectorVest to do whatsoever. Because getting all the information you're going to get at this event for $95 is just flat out ridiculous. So if you like Vegas, you like going there anyway, even if you don't, if you hate Vegas, for $95, the information that you're going to learn, the ability you have to mingle with the power users, the ability you have to mingle with us, the ability to get here and learn what you've got to learn for $95 is just stupid ridiculous. I don't know how we can survive. It's crazy. All right. So that's my bet. I don't like pitches, but if I had to do one, that's what I just did it. So I'll stick around and answer some questions with people that are on the webcast with us here. But just a final sign off for everyone else. Thanks for being here. We hope to see you in Vegas. It's going to be a blast. You're going to love it. I've never had in 24 years anyone ever dissatisfied with this 2-day event. And I mean ever. Thought it was a waste of time to go. So whether you do it for $95 there in person, Lesson number 1, don't spend any time on the tables. All right, so first lesson's already done. I'm just kidding, have fun. Or you're gonna do it from the comfort of your own living room or whatever the case may be. This is an event you do not want to miss. Thanks for being here. All right, so I stopped the recording. And let's see if there's, I can't see any questions on YouTube, but if any questions are unanswered, Thad, and you want to chime in or something, let me know. You can. Gil says, well, on 95, there are ads on accommodation or deals on flights. I don't know about any deals on flights, that kind of thing, but at VectorVest.com/Vegas, we normally have at least for a limited number of rooms, some room break there. But those go pretty quick. So I would get to it. I haven't looked at the website yet. Let me take a quick peek. Well, other than a cursory look. I haven't looked for that specifically. But let me see here. Go to my own link. A special room rate of $252 per night for September 19th through the 21st is available for a very limited number of rooms if booked by August 29th. You got plenty of time, but do not delay. When it says very limited there, we're expecting those to go quick and trying to make it clear. Okay? Yeah, you're welcome, Gil. No problem. All right. So, and there's some, parking charges and things that folks may need to take note. Listen, it's Vegas. This is the way it is. It's like the mafia. It's like dealing with the mafia. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's going to be awesome, guys. You guys are all going to enjoy it. So I'm going to sign off for now. Looks like all the comments are very favorable here so far. We'll just sign off for now. Thanks for being here, guys. And I truly, truly, truly hope that we meet in Vegas, particularly if we've never met before. And I can't wait to see all of my good friends that are subscribers who we see all the time. It's going to be great either way. We'll see you soon, guys, okay? Good luck out there. See you soon.